Hi, welcome to another lecture of DSA, and in this particular video, we are going to learn about binary search. The level of this question is medium, so without wasting any time, let's get started. All right, so now let us try to understand what a binary search is. So by word, try to understand what binary is. Binary means two. So this particular search is going to be something around related to two, and how is that going to fit? We are going to just see in a moment. First of all, let us create an array. So binary search. So it is a search algorithm and binary means two. So two means that we are going to split the array in two halves and we are going to search each section. The primarily thing of this particular search is that the array given to you must be sorted. Okay. So given that in mind, let us first of all create an array for us. So let us give 1, 3, 5, 6, 8, 10, and 12. So it has 3, 3, 6, and 7 elements. So if I want to say that search for 6 over here via binary search method. So first of all, you are going to do is you are going to divide the array into two halves. So this is the pivot point, this is the middle section, and over here you can see that this is the two halves of the array. First of all, you check that okay, if the given element that the target which we have to search for is present at the middle index or not. If it is present over here, then return it directly. So in this particular case, the target is present at the middle index only, so we are directly going to return 6, and that is all. But what if I ask that okay, now search for let's say 10. Okay, so we came to this array. We divided the array into two halves. This is the first half, this is the second half, and we compared it with the middle element. So 6 is less than 10. Okay, so which means that our element is definitely going to be in the right half of the array. Why? Because given the given array is in sorted order, so if the middle pivot is less than the target, then obviously we have to move rightwards. So that is why we will change the array, and what we'll do is we'll check in this half of the array. So we'll neglect everything that has been over here up till 6. So 1, 3, 5, and 6, they are all neglected because we are sure that we are not going to find anything in the first half of the array. And in the second half, all we are going to do is we are going to again perform the same task. So it has 8, 10, and 12, and we are going to divide this into two halves. So this is the middle pivot, and this becomes the left half, this becomes the right half. And we again see that in the pivot only, in the 10, we got our element, so we directly return the index. Sorry, we return the index. So it is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So it gives us 5. So this is what binary search is. Given if we had to search for 3, so when we have encountered 6 at the first place, so 6 was the 6 is not great, so 6 was greater than 3 definitely. So we are going to search in the left half of the array, and again we neglect what we neglect 6, we neglect 8, we neglect 10, we neglect 12, and we are going to search over here 1, 3, 5. We take the middle pivot and we get 3 directly as it is. So this is the binary search algorithm, and since we are every time traversing half of the length of the array, the time complexity is going to be definitely log n. Okay, and this is what it is going to be. And now it is the time for us to write the algorithm, write the code for it. So now let us jump to the code. All right, so first of all, we are going to implement the solution via the non recursion method. We are going to just iterate using while loops, ifs, conditions, and other stuffs. So first of all, this is our binary search function, which is going to take the array, so arr array, and the target. So we get the two elements over here. And what we need to do is we need to maintain two pointers, left and the right pointers, because we are going to divide the array into two halves. So we need actually three items. We need the left pointer, we need the right pointer, and we need the middle pivot. Okay. So initially when the function is called for the first time, I want to define the left pointer via let left is equals to 0, and let right equals to array dot length minus 1, the last index of the array. So arr dot length minus 1. So we got the left, we got the right, and we have to keep searching for the element until the left and the right pointers coincide. So what was happening over here? Let's suppose we were fetching the elements at the middle pivot. What if I had asked for you to search for 1? So when you have came to this section in the first half of the array, you check the middle pivot, which is 3, and 3 is definitely greater than 1. So we are again going to search in the left half of the array, and when we are going to the left half, the left pointer and the right pointer are going to coincide at the same index, which is 0. So this is the place where the left and the right pointers are coinciding, and once, even if we didn't find any element over here, and so left pointer will certainly move away and right will certainly move this towards, and they are going to intersect each other. So this is the place where we are not going to find any element, because we are way past across the indices. So this is our base condition, like to stop searching for it. So while the left pointer is less than and equals to right pointer, which means that left and right, while they have not coincided, while they have not crossed paths. So crossed paths mean that they have intersection and they moved away. Okay. So while the left and the right pointers have not crossed path with each other, so I'm going to now construct a new pivot, pivot, and this is going to be math dot floor left plus right by 2. So if you want to find the middle of two indices, two endpoints, you sum the both indices and divide it by 2. This is all you want to do. And what mat.floor does is, you already know. If we are still not sure, then mat.floor. So mat.floor always rounds down and returns the largest integer less than or equal to the given number. Okay. So this gives us the largest integer, okay, which is less than or equal to the given number. So 5.95, we perform mat.floor, it gives you 5. 5.05 again gives you 5. 5 gives 5, and minus 5.05 gives you minus 6, because it has to be obviously less than the number. Okay. And we are not going to get negative indices, so we are okay with using mat.floor. So mat.floor left plus right, and we divide it by 2. So we are going to get the indices. Now we are going to check that if the target is less than the pivot element, or if it is if it is greater than the pivot element. So if target is less than ARR of pivot, which means that what it means, let us see. So over here, target is less than array pivot, which means that we have an array point and our target is less than it. So definitely the array item which we have to find, the target which we have to find, is present in the left half of the array. Okay, so we have to move in the left half. So we are going to change the right pointer, because left is already in the left half. All we have to do is shrink down the window and move the right pointer just before the middle pivot. Okay, so right equals to pivot minus 1. Okay, and this is the else if condition. If the target is greater than, if the target is greater than ARR of pivot, Then what we have to do is we have to shrink down the window again, but we have to now move the left pointer. Okay, so left would be one step ahead of pivot, so it would be pivot pivot plus 1, and else. This is the case where we found the elements. The in this scenario, the target is neither less than the middle element, neither greater than, it is exactly equal to the middle element. Then we have to perform is the part where we are getting return pivot. Okay, we got the pivot. If it is not matching any of this case, we ran the complete while loop and we didn't found the element, then we'll return -1. Okay, so then we can also check this thing. We are at console.log and array. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, and I wanted to search for 5, and I am calling binary search over this. So 4, so 0 1 2 3 4, and if I search for like 15, it is going to give me -1. So this was a binary search. This was the binary search method, and wait, there is more to it. This was a non-recursive method. The interviewer might ask that, okay, hey candidate, whatever name it is, so hey candidate, please convert this implementation into a recursive approach. So okay, I'll take that. Okay, let us, okay, interviewer, I'm going to convert this now. So we are going to first of all copy this. We are going to comment this out because you guys need a reference, and I'm going to create a binary search. Recursive, recursive, and there is one more function call over here. Binary search is going to return the binary search recursive method with array, with target, with left as 0 and right as array.end -1, and this is being left and this is right. We don't need this. See, this is how we are converting like a iterative method into a recursive method. So over here we are having this case, and this is not going to work because we are not having a base condition. So this -1 is not going to be here because this is no longer a while loop. So if left is greater than right, if left is greater than the right, then we didn't got anything, return -1. This is our base recursive condition, and this is while loop is not going to be there. There is nothing like this. So we are having a pivot, we are having target, and once you are having a target, instead of changing the left and right like this, you are going to call a recursive method over here and binary search, or maybe I can just copy this, it would be much better. Array, you got the target, you get the left, and you get the right as pivot -1. This is what I wanted to highlight. We are not going to update the params, and again you call the binary search recursively, and obviously you are going to return whatever value you are receiving, because you always have to return in recursion. Then how you are going to maintain the final value? Okay, so return pivot, return this, return left. So left is what was left? Left was pivot 1 plus 1. So it was pivot plus 1 for us, and this was right. This is not going to change, and we have to again return. We can get rid of this, and yep, we have a if condition, we have a return condition as well. So we have a return, so we don't need else, and also we don't need this thing else as well. We can get this off. Oops. Yep. And I think this is working fine. Yeah, so this was the recursive method. How we implemented it was very simple. I had the base function as it is, and I created one more function that is going to receive all the params. And these are the arguments which I sent to this params of the search binary search recursive function. And this recursive function is updating the left and the right arguments on the fly based on the if conditions. If the if condition, like if the target is less than, if the target is greater than, if it is not the case, then return the pivot. So this is how the recursive method is working with us. So the time complexity of this algorithm is log n, because it reduces the the search space by half every time we perform this iteration. Okay. And in the best case, the time complexity is big O of 1, because you got the element exactly in the middle. So that is your good luck over here. And the space complexity is big O of 1 for the iterative approach. Okay. So big O of 1, because we are not creating any extra space to hold off any array data. So it is just returning the pivot based on some calculations. So this is big O of 1. And for the space complexity for the recursive part, the space complexity becomes log n, because the stack, so recursion creates a stack every time we perform a recursive call. So I max probably you are going to call the stack log n times, so the space complexity also becomes the log n. And again, we haven't created any arrays, so we are not counting that. So the space complexity for recursion is going to be log n. For the iterative approach, it is big O of 1. And the space complexity is the time complexity is log n. And for the best scenario, you get a big O of 1 as a time complexity. So this was the binary search for you. I hope you understood the topic. If you have any doubts, then feel free to ask that on me on my Discord channel. I am also active on the Graphy community as well. And this was all in this particular video. See you in the next one. Till then, take care. Goodbye.